Hey guys, Dino here, and this is Watching Wrestling, where I watch wrestling and then I talk about it. Listen, we're going to talk about SmackDown real quick. I've been planning to do some of these reviews for a while, and always something kind of gets in the way, or something big happens. Last week, I was going to do a SmackDown review, and then The Miz cut that shoot promo. Then I was going to do a Raw review yesterday, but fucking Kevin Owens won the goddamn championship, so I just wanted to talk about that. So we're going to talk about SmackDown today. And what can I say about SmackDown? It was a good show. Kind of went by fast. But as far as anything memorable going on there, I wouldn't say there was anything. So we start the show off with, so they do use the Miz's Smack Talk shoot promo, and they kind of open up the show with that. And I kind of said, well, if they end up using it, it probably means that it wasn't a shoot. And I said they needed to use it because I thought that was some of the Miz's best work, and I was really excited to see what they would do on SmackDown with it. And really, they didn't do much with it, which was really disappointing. I thought they had an opportunity to kind of put Miz in a different light. And, you know, they start to show off, and Miz comes in and he cuts a promo, which wasn't a bad promo, but this promo you can see was really planned out, where I believe the one that he did last week on Smack Talk just was kind of out of nowhere. Again, but it was a good promo. He talked about same thing that he talked about on Smack Talk last week. He talked about this week about how, you know, he's not a coward because he wrestles the way he wrestles. Like, he's smart because he gets away from the punches. He works smart. He doesn't work cowardly. It's smart. He's not a coward. He's smart. He's really smart. I mean, that was the gist of the entire promo that he cut. And I don't know, like, it wasn't a bad promo, but I feel like you had a lot of eyes on SmackDown, especially last week or yesterday on Raw with Kevin Owens winning. I think SmackDown really needed to step up their game, and I feel like they really didn't do that this episode. Or even with the opening, like, that's when you want to kind of give it all you got. You want to start with a bang, and I feel like they didn't. So Miz, he cut his promo, and he was continuing to cut it when Dolph Ziggler came out and kind of talked about how, you know, Miz just wants to be famous. He wants the fame. He wants the glory. He wants to be champion. But he's not a wrestler. He just wants the fame that comes with wrestling. And, you know, the Miz kind of like, he didn't really know how to respond to that. And then Dolph Ziggler just basically called him out. He was like, okay, well, let's fight. Let's put on a show to these people. It's not for the championship. It's not a sanctioned match. It's a street fight. It's a shoot fight. Show these people that, you know, you're not a coward. And again, I felt like this was the perfect time for the Miz to kind of step out of his little comfort zone and show the people that he's not a coward, that he can fight anybody, and that he doesn't back down. And what does he do? He backs down. So really disappointed with that. I'm sure they're going to build it up gradually. I'm sure they have some kind of plan. I hope they have something planned. But this could have been something big for the Miz. And if they were going to do something big, they should have started with a bang, and they just didn't do that. So after the Miz and Ziggler thing, we had the Hype Bros versus the Vaudevillains. You know, the thing is about the Vaudevillains, man, is I like the Vaudevillains. Like, I really liked them in NXT. I thought they were good. I think they worked together. They had good momentum, and unfortunately, you don't see that anymore. You don't see that between them. You don't see the chemistry that these two have, and I mean, one of the reasons is because they're not giving enough time for these matches. This was basically a squash match. Hype Bros came in, beat the shit out of Vaudevillains, and left. The Hype Bros, let's talk about that. Mojo Rawley should not be on the main roster right now. I'm just. I don't see, like, I don't think him and Ryder have good chemistry. I think Mojo Rawley could have stayed in NXT a while, developed something a little better, maybe refine his character a little more. Because right now he's just like the big guy that screams at people. Like that's what he does. Like he doesn't get hype. He stays hype. That's what he does. And I don't think the chemistry between him and Ryder work that well. And it's just a really random tag team. I mean, it was a random tag team at NXT, so now seeing them on SmackDown doesn't make it better. It's still a random ass tag team. I think the Vaudevillains are a lot better than Hype Bros. I feel like they probably should have won that match. It would have made sense for them to win that match, but I don't know. And like the thing is, even JBL kind of building him up or showing them the love or showing them respect, trying to give them that push at commentary. It feels unnatural. Like JBL kind of built this persona of this no nonsense type of guy, and for him to kind of be pushing the Hype Bros really makes no sense. Because that team makes no sense. So Hype Bros versus Vaudevillains. Hype Bros won, which was essentially a squash match. They move on to a tournament. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't win the tag team championship, and I doubt they will. But I really don't know why these two are together. So after the Hype Bros, we had AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews. AJ Styles ended up winning. So I guess Apollo Crews spells stuff. I guess that's his gimmick. He spells. He spells his name. He spells punch. He spells his finishing move. He's like the Scotty Tuhati, I think, of SmackDown right now. He spells everything that he's about to do. Yeah, I mean, it was good. I feel like they're trying to give Apollo Crews a little more character. I hope they don't stick with his spelling bee gimmick. I hope, because he seems like a genuinely nice guy. I feel like he could be a really good face for SmackDown. But they had a decent match. It was pretty short. I don't know. I always expect a little more for Apollo Crews just because I know the shit that he can do, and you really didn't get to see that in this match. But it wasn't a bad match, not at all. AJ Styles ended up winning, like I said, which makes sense. But it shows that Apollo Crews can hang in there with the best of them, and I'm sure they're going to give him some type of push eventually down the line. It makes sense. Apollo Crews is really good. They just kind of have to start building his character a little bit, which I'm sure they're doing. I'm kind of bummed out that they kind of they stopped the whole Miz Apollo Crews thing. I felt like those two would have worked a lot better. Like, I know they didn't have a great match at SummerSlam, but a part of that was because it wasn't built the right way. And I felt this was a great way to kind of restart the whole Miz Apollo Crews thing, especially with the eyes that Miz has now. It would have been a perfect time to kind of give the rub to Apollo, but no, that's not happening. I don't even know what Apollo's doing. He's just kind of floating, in the middle of nowhere right now. I don't know what's next for Apollo, but I don't know. But the match was good. I mean, that's really all I can ask for. So after that match, we had, oh my god, we had Heath Slater and Rhino. Heath Slater was at his trailer park, and Renee Young was there to interview him with Heath Slater's wife Beulah. This man, Heath Slater, bro. I don't know. Every week I feel like they're doing such a great job of entertaining me with Heath Slater. And Heath Slater has that personality, and I feel like he's naturally getting over with the crowd now. I was kind of skeptical with him teaming up with Rhino, but it really works. It really does. Like, those two really have good chemistry. Just Heath Slater getting interviewed by Renee Young as Rhino was eating cheese and crackers, and Beulah is just being there fucking eating crackers too. It was like a mouth full of crackers, and Heath Slater and 7 kids, and him fighting so that he can get the double wide trailer. Like, That's gold, man. Yeah, the chemistry between him and Rhino is really great too. Really surprising too, man. I don't know, like I don't know if they're gonna win. I have a hunch that they will. I hope they do because I feel like they're the most entertaining tag team right now. Like American, fuck is Ultra, no American Alpha. I keep getting confused. The fucking Max Landis movie. I think it's Alpha, American Alpha. That's the one. They're a great tag team. They're really good. But as far as personality, they really haven't showcased it much. So I feel like it'd be a lot cooler for Heath Slater and Rhino to win those tag team championships, and you give Heath Slater a contract, which is really all you need for him. And then if they want to, they could just take the tag team titles away from them, like the next episode or whatever. It really doesn't matter. But I want to see Heath Slater on SmackDown because man, that guy is too funny, man. That guy's too much. So after that, after Heath Slater and Rhino, we had Orton and Bray Wyatt segment. I don't know, man. Orton. I like Orton. So every time I talk about Orton, I have to say that I like Orton because every time I talk about him, it feels like I'm talking shit about him, but I'm not. I like Orton a lot. I just feel like, I don't know, the last few years, he's been kind of uninteresting. And he seems disinterested. He doesn't seem like he gives a shit anymore. But they're building up this rivalry with him and Bray Wyatt, which I'm sure the match that they're going to have is going to be good. But they need to have Bray Wyatt do something. And I guess having him face against Randy Orton is something. It's better than nothing. But it's one of those lose-lose situations right now because, if Randy Orton loses, well, he just lost 2 matches. He lost against Brock Lesnar, and for him to lose against Bray Wyatt would really put him down on the card, you know what I mean? On the top 10 rankings, he would be number 10. Bray Wyatt, I love Bray Wyatt, but I feel like he's been losing too many matches, and I feel like he needs a big one. He needs some kind of momentum, and I feel like even though Randy Orton lost to Brock Lesnar, I feel like if Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton, that would give him a little push, give him some momentum to work with. Because, man, Bray Wyatt needs to be able to do something. He needs to be legit. And he just hasn't been the last few years, which is a shame because that guy is talented on the microphone. And in the ring, he can go. He's not the most interesting or the best athlete in the WWE, but he can put on some solid performances. And he can carry a rivalry like nobody else. But, like, nobody gives a shit if you keep losing your matches, which is where Bray Wyatt is. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, but they got to do something interesting. They got to do a 180. They got to change it up because as of right now, it's a lose-lose situation for both of them right now. So that's Orton and Bray. After that, we had a tag match between Becky and Naomi, Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Alexa Bliss. The match was fine. I mean, I've never been a big fan of like the women's tag team matches. It just makes no sense. I always say, listen, if there's no women's tag team championship, why do they show women's tag team matches? It makes no sense. And I get it. It's SmackDown. They only have a limited amount of time. They want to showcase all their women. I get that, but I feel like there's a better way to do that. Instead of just putting them in matches that mean nothing. Natalya and Alexa Bliss won when Carmella Bliss attacked Nikki Bella, who was out there on the commentating table calling the match. It looks like they're doing a Carmella Nikki rivalry, which is fine, I guess. Like Carmella really needs some momentum. She's new to the roster. She doesn't have enough followers. She doesn't really have the momentum or the prestige, or you know what I'm saying? She doesn't have the people behind her yet. And I feel like this is the perfect time or the perfect thing to do with her put her against Nikki Bella, who people know, people like, people don't. So you know what I mean. So either she's gonna get fans when she beats Nikki, or she's gonna get people booing her if she loses against Nikki. And as a wrestler, you want a reaction, right? Carmella has a reaction. She's neutral. You know what I mean? So have her do something. Have her get some heat or something. It looks like they're making Carmella a heel, which is fine. I think that her personality suits that role a lot better. And I guess they're making Nikki a face, which I feel like they tried that before and it didn't work. So we're very curious to see why they want to do that again. But I guess you want to build heat for Carmella. Nikki has to be face. But if she's going to be face, hopefully she stays there for a while. Hopefully they just don't go back and forth with it. I don't know, but it's interesting. The match was okay. Like I said, Natalya and Alexa Bliss won. Yeah, I don't know, not much to say about that match. It's just, I don't know, it's a women's tag match. Really meant nothing. Only thing that really mattered was Alexa Bliss or Carmella attacking Nikki Bella. So yeah, I don't really want to talk about that anymore, just because there's nothing to talk about. Then we have the Headbangers come back, and they fought against Heath Slater and Rhino. I know the Headbangers. Like, I've never watched them because they were gone by the time I got into the WWE. I got into the WWE like 2000s. The Headbangers, I think, were already out by then. But I remember the Headbangers because of video games. I had like I think WWF Warzone, which was not a good game from what I remember, but I remember they were there, and they were good. They were okay, man. They were fucking throwing some potatoes in that match, man. They were like going fully hard. Like Mosh ended up busting Rhino right in the eye. Rhino was cut open. On SmackDown, Keith Slater was on SmackDown, and he had bruises all over his face. Like, it looked like the Headbangers really went hard in that match. Rhino and Heath Slater ended up winning. Rhino hit the gore, I think, on Mosh, or I don't know their names, but one of the Headbangers. And they won, which I expected. But yeah, they were really impressive. Like, I feel like they got way more offense than I thought they would. I thought it was gonna be a squash match. I thought Rhino was just gonna tear the fucking house down and just murder these guys, but no, they got some good offense in, and they did some crazy shit, man. And it was like, check the match out. It wasn't that bad. It was a decent match between those guys. I don't know, like, are the Headbangers a part of the roster now? Are they a part of SmackDown Live? It felt like I was watching like an old school, like, what I've been doing. I've been going back to the WWE Network, and I've been watching like the old school Raws, and if like, I swear to God, SmackDown feels like an old school episode of Raw, where I'm just seeing all these guys like fucking Rhino and the Headbangers and like all these fucking, you know what I mean? It's like all these guys from like the bygone era are here on SmackDown, which is weird to see. But yeah, man, they're doing their thing. I can't really say nothing about that. Rhino won, like I said. They move on. I hope they win the tag. I think they will win the tag. I'm calling it right now. They will win the tag team championship. Yeah, it was a good match, I guess. Next, we had some fucking jobber. His name was Gary Milkman, and that boy stripped into his tighty whities, and then called out a guy to come fight him in the ring. And as he's getting undressed, fucking Kane comes out and just murders him, chokeslams the shit out of him, which is unfortunate because he had tighty whities on. You don't want to be chokeslammed the shit out of when you're wearing tighty whities. Why that boy was wearing tighty whities, I don't know. Why that boy came into this ring looking like a fucking authority figure, I have no clue. Why this happened, I have no idea. It was just random. Like, it really made no sense. Like, they're promoting Dean versus Corbin, and all of a sudden this Milkman guy is waiting for Kane in his tighty whities. Like, what the hell is going on? It's weird shit like this, SmackDown, that you need to stop. You need to stop doing weird shit. I don't want to see guys in their tighty whities ever, like, on my TV. Like, don't do that shit. And it makes no sense. If you're gonna have like a job match, have it like in the beginning, where nobody, like, you know, where people are still getting used to it. It makes no sense that you're gonna have a Milkman and Kane co-main event a SmackDown Live. That shit makes no goddamn sense. So yeah, Kane. I wrote what the fuck. Like that was my mindset. Like, what the fuck. So after that, we had Dean Ambrose versus Corbin. This was a really good match. I think Corbin has proved that he can pretty much go toe-to-toe with anybody. But that boy needs to change his hair, though. Because that boy is going bald. He needs a hat. He needs a gimmick. He needs to have like a hair versus hair match. Just like fucking Jerry the King said. Like, put that boy in a hair versus hair match against Ziggler. And have him lose to Ziggler, because that boy needs to shave his head. Like, he's going bald, like, right? Like, I don't know if you guys even noticed, but, like, when that boy is wrestling, like, he's balding. And it's really distracting when I'm looking at him. But other than that, man, he's got a good look. Like, he's big and he's strong and he can go in the ring. I feel like in a very short amount of time, he's proven that he's really good at what he does. But he loses against Dean Ambrose. Oh, yeah, the match was thrown out because AJ Styles interfered in it, which I don't know. I don't understand what Baron Corbin is doing, fighting against Dean Ambrose. It just felt like a random match. A lot of matches really felt random on SmackDown today. I really don't have anything to say about that. It was kind of anticlimactic. Like, I was really hoping they were going to do something with The Miz, like, which is really the only reason I even watched SmackDown, because I'm just waiting for them to do something with The Miz, especially after last week when he cut that promo, and what I ended up getting was Gary Milkman jobbing to Kane. So, I don't know, but I did end up watching, I don't know if you guys can see that, I did end up watching Smack Talk, as I always do. Just because I feel like Smack Talk's much more interesting than SmackDown, actually, because it's guys talking about real stuff. Rhino and Heath Slater were there, talking about, you know, their opportunity. It was really because at first I'm like, okay, well, why is Rhino even helping with or teaming up with Heath Slater? And on Smack Talk, Rhino talks about how he sees passion and he sees potential in Heath Slater. Which is why he decided to team up with him. And then he also Rhino mentions that, you know, he hasn't won a tag team championship in America since like 1996. So this is something personal for him too. Like, he wants to be champion again, just so he can get that, you know, bucket list thing off. You know what I mean? So like, it really, Smack Talk is great. Like, watch Smack Talk if you haven't been watching it. I always recommend it. Plus, you have Daniel Bryan. They ended up talking about The Miz again. And it was weird because, like, Bryan basically said, like, yeah, the WWE, they don't want me and The Miz together anymore. So, I don't know. Like it's the thing again. Like, is this a real thing? Is this a shoot? Is this fake? Which, I don't know. I'm tired of having that conversation. And then AJ Styles was on Smack Talk, too. Which, it really, I don't know, he wasn't in character, which I guess not a lot of people on Smack Talk are in character. They're like being themselves. And AJ Styles really came across as like being this humble guy that cares about what he's doing, which I'm sure he is, but I just saw him on SmackDown talking shit to Apollo Crews, and now he's being Mr. Nice Guy. So that's kind of weird, but AJ Styles I love. He's going to be great. I hope he ends up beating Dean Ambrose, because it's not that I don't like Dean Ambrose. It's just that I don't need to see a lot of him. So yeah, so that's SmackDown, guys. Tell me what you guys thought. I thought it was decent. Like, it wasn't better than Raw, I can tell you that much, but I thought it was a decent show. So tell me what you guys thought about the show in the comment section below. And subscribe to Watching Wrestling. I will be doing reviews and my thoughts on the big things that happen on WWE. So yeah, subscribe for some of that. I'm building this channel up. Let's build it together. Let's do something special here. So comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and thank you guys for watching.